If Allah showed you just one glimpse of the future He wrote for you, even for a single heartbeat, every worry inside you would collapse. You would stop questioning why people left, why doors closed, why life felt heavy, and why certain prayers seemed unanswered. Because you would see yourself standing in a moment filled with peace, surrounded by blessings that were quietly being prepared while you were crying, doubting, and breaking. You would realize that nothing was random, nothing was wasted, and every event that confused your heart was actually guiding you towards something far more beautiful than anything you ever imagined for yourself. If you could see where Allah is taking you, you would hold His plan tighter than your fears. You would trust every delay, every disappointment, every change of direction, and you would whisper with a heart full of relief, "Ya Allah, your plan was better for me all along." This is the truth. If you knew what Allah already wrote for you, you would never worry again. Allah writes your life based on who you will become, not who you are today. You look at yourself and you judge your future through the limited version of who you are right now. You think your mistakes define you, your weaknesses limit you, and your fears block your destiny. But Allah does not write your future based on your current level. He writes it from a place far above your present reality. Allah sees the strength that is slowly growing inside you, even when you cannot feel it yet. He sees the maturity that will come from the experiences you still haven't lived. He sees the wisdom that will form inside you after the pain, after the lessons, after the healing that is waiting ahead. Allah never limits your future to the person you are right now. He knows who you are becoming. He knows the version of you that will exist after you learn patience, after your heart softens, after your faith deepens, after your character improves, after your soul grows through the trials you are facing. He sees the calmer, wiser, stronger, more grateful version of you long before you get there. And when Allah writes your blessings, He writes them for that future version of you, the version who can handle them, protect them, appreciate them, and grow with them. This is why you must not lose hope when you feel small or imperfect right now. You're not meant to stay as you are. You're in a process, you're in a journey. Allah is shaping you quietly, and He's planning your future based on the person you will become, not the person you see in the mirror today. So your present flaws cannot block what Allah has written for your future. Your past cannot cancel what He decided for you. Your current limitations do not scare Him. Allah sees beyond your today. He writes for the heart and soul you are slowly growing into. And that future version of you, the one Allah already sees clearly, is the one He chooses blessings for. What you lose is often what was quietly blocking what Allah wrote for you. Sometimes you look at what you lost and think it ruined your life, but Allah knows something you don't. He knows that not every loss is meant to break you. Some losses are meant to lift you. There are things you were holding on to that looked good from the outside but were quietly limiting you inside. There were people you cared about who were taking pieces of your peace without you realizing it. There were plans you loved that were too small for the future Allah is preparing for you. We often don't see the hidden harm inside something until it's gone. You may think losing a person, a job, an opportunity, or a dream was the end of your progress, but sometimes that very loss was the only way Allah could clear your path. You might not have walked away on your own, so Allah gently removed it for you. He saw conversations you didn't hear, intentions you didn't know, dangers you couldn't see, and futures that would have drained your heart. There were people who didn't have the capacity to grow with you, so Allah took them out of your journey. There were environments that would have trapped you in the same emotional place for years, so Allah pulled you away. There were plans you begged for that would have stopped you from discovering the potential He placed inside you, so Allah blocked them before they became your cage. When something leaves your life, you only see the empty space it created, but Allah sees what that space will make room for. He sees the peace that will replace the chaos, the clarity that will replace the confusion, the strength that will replace the attachment, and the blessing that will replace the burden you didn't even know you were carrying. So don't assume that every loss is a punishment. Some losses are protection, some losses are mercy, some losses are the only way for you to reach the destiny Allah wrote for you. You may not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and realize that what you lost was actually saving you from a life that wasn't meant for your soul. And you'll thank Allah for removing what was quietly blocking what He had already prepared for you. Confusion is a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is redirecting your path. There are moments in your life when your heart feels confused and you don't understand why. You try to make a decision, but every option feels uncertain. You try to hold on to a plan, but something inside you keeps resisting. You wonder why you suddenly feel lost when everything seemed clear before. But confusion is not a sign that you are weak. It is often a sign that Allah is redirecting you with His mercy. When Allah wants to move you away from something that is not meant for you, He doesn't always close the door loudly. Sometimes He begins by changing the feelings in your heart. He makes the path that once felt right start feeling heavy. He makes the relationship that once felt easy start feeling uncomfortable. He makes the job, the city, the friendship, or the plan slowly lose its peace. Your heart begins to shift before your life does. And when Allah wants to guide you towards something better, He often creates a period of confusion first, a space where nothing makes sense. It is in that space that Allah protects you from rushing into the wrong place and prepares you to notice the right one. Confusion becomes a filter that stops you from making emotional decisions and allows your soul to pause long enough for Allah to guide you. Think about it. If everything felt clear right now, you might choose what is familiar instead of what is best. You might stay where you are out of comfort, not wisdom. You might chase a path that looks good but carries hidden harm. So Allah in His kindness places confusion between you and that path. It is not a punishment, it is guidance wrapped in silence. This confusion is actually movement. It means Allah is gently pulling you away from something that would have hurt you, or limiting you from entering a chapter that is too small for your growth. You feel lost, but Allah is leading you. You feel unsure, but Allah is protecting you. You feel stuck, but Allah is pushing you toward a life you would have never chosen with your limited vision. One day, when you look back, you will realize that the moments where you felt most confused were actually the moments where Allah was rearranging your direction with the most love. Your confusion was not a dead end, it was a bridge taking you from your plan to Allah's better plan. And when you cross that bridge, everything that felt heavy will suddenly make sense. Your tests are expanding your capacity for the blessings you asked for. You often ask Allah for a better life, a calmer heart, a loving spouse, a stable future, or a successful path, and you expect these blessings to arrive instantly. But the truth is that some blessings are too heavy for the person you are right now. They require a stronger heart, a wiser mind, a more patient soul, and a more disciplined version of you. So instead of giving you the blessing immediately, Allah gives you experiences that prepare you for it. When you go through emotional pain, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching you resilience. When you face disappointments, He is teaching you how to stand again without breaking. When someone hurts you, Allah is showing you how to set boundaries, how to recognize sincerity, and how to protect your heart. When things don't go your way, He is strengthening the part of you that needs to handle future blessings with maturity instead of impulsiveness. Every test you face is shaping something inside you that comfort could never teach. Patience does not grow in easy times. Wisdom does not grow when everything is smooth. Emotional maturity does not grow when people treat you perfectly. Strength does not grow when life is gentle. Growth comes through pressure, and Allah allows just enough pressure to build your capacity without breaking your soul. You might wonder why life seems difficult at certain stages, or why things keep going wrong right when you're trying to move forward. But what you don't see is that Allah is training your character, polishing your heart, and clearing your inner weaknesses before He gives you what you asked for. He knows that without this preparation, you might lose the blessing, mishandle it, or depend on it more than you depend on Him. Imagine asking Allah for a loving marriage while still carrying unhealed wounds, jealousy, anger, or emotional instability. A blessing cannot survive on a foundation that is still cracked. So Allah allows situations that expose these cracks, not to embarrass you, but to help you repair them. Imagine asking for success while lacking discipline, humility, or gratitude. Blessings without preparation can turn into burdens. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The struggles you face today are building the qualities you will need tomorrow. The patience you learn now will protect your future home. The lessons you learn now will guide your future choices. The strength you gain now will help you carry responsibilities with ease later. When Allah withholds something, it is not rejection. It is training, it is expansion. It is Allah increasing your capacity so that when the blessing arrives, you can hold it with steady hands, a peaceful heart, and a soul that is ready. One day, you will realize that what felt like hardship was actually the path leading straight to the life you prayed for. Allah builds your biggest miracles in complete silence. There are moments in your life when it feels like nothing is happening. You pray, you wait, you hope, you make dua with a trembling heart, but from the outside everything looks still. You start thinking, maybe Allah forgot me, or maybe my life will never change, or maybe my dua is not reaching anywhere. But the truth is, Allah does His greatest work in complete silence, in ways you cannot see, hear, or imagine. Just like a seed grows under the soil, hidden from the world, your future is growing in a place your eyes cannot reach. When you plant a seed, nothing seems to happen for a long time. There is no sign, no movement, no sound. But deep under the ground, the seed is transforming, expanding, breaking open, and preparing to rise. If you judge it too early, you might think it died, but in reality, it is becoming strong enough to grow into something beautiful. Your life works exactly the same way. You may think your life is stuck, but Allah is arranging things quietly. He is turning hearts in your favor without you knowing. He is preparing opportunities behind doors you have never seen. He is softening someone's heart who will help you later. He is creating connections and paths that will only show up when the time is right. What looks like nothing to you is actually Allah writing chapters of your story behind the curtain. Many times Allah hides His work because your heart is not ready to see it yet. If you saw how close the blessing was, you might rush it or expect it too soon, or cling to it before your soul is prepared. So Allah protects you by keeping the process invisible. Silence is not delay. Silence is not abandonment. Silence is protection and preparation. Think about the times in your life when suddenly something beautiful happened out of nowhere. A chance meeting, an unexpected job, a sudden solution, a new opportunity, a healed feeling, or a door opening that you didn't even knock on. You didn't see the preparation, but Allah was building it all along. What felt like long, empty months was actually Allah putting every puzzle piece in place. The moment everything aligned, the blessing appeared in front of you effortlessly. There is a kind of miracle that takes time. There is a kind of mercy that requires patience. There is a kind of blessing that must grow in the unseen before it shows up in your hands. And Allah knows exactly when that moment is. Just because you don't see movement does not mean there isn't a miracle forming in the invisible world around you. Your silence is full of activity. Your waiting is full of mercy. Your stillness is full of divine planning. One day, you will reach the moment Allah prepared in silence, and everything will fall into place so beautifully that you will say, Subhanallah, this was being built for me the whole time. I just couldn't see it. Allah delays what you want until you learn to want Him first. There are times when you beg Allah for something with your whole heart. You make dua again and again, and you wait with so much hope, but nothing changes. The blessing doesn't come. The door doesn't open. The situation doesn't move. And you start wondering if Allah is ignoring you, or if your dreams are simply not meant for you. But the truth is much softer, much more beautiful. Sometimes Allah delays what you want because He wants your heart to turn fully toward Him first. Many people want the blessing more than they want the connection with Allah. They chase outcomes, but they forget the one who controls every outcome. They want the result, but they don't nurture the relationship. Allah, in His love, doesn't want your heart to attach to something that may disappear. He wants your heart anchored firmly to Him before He places anything valuable in your hands. He knows that if He gives you the blessing too early, you might depend on it more than you depend on Him. So sometimes the delay is not because the blessing is far. It's because your heart needs strengthening. You need to learn to trust Him first without seeing results. You need to learn to turn to Him not only in sadness, but also in gratitude, in peace, and in daily life. You need to learn that your happiness does not come from a job, a person, a relationship, a dream, or a plan. It comes from the one who gives and takes with perfect wisdom. When Allah delays something, He gently creates moments that pull you closer to Him. He allows you to feel your need for Him. He lets your prayers soften. He lets your dua become deeper. He allows your heart to detach from people who were not meant to hold your trust. He teaches you that nothing in this world is guaranteed except Him. This is not a punishment, it is a mercy. It is how He prepares your heart to hold blessings without losing your connection to Him. You might think you are waiting for the blessing, but sometimes the blessing is waiting for your heart. Waiting for you to reach a level of contentment where you say, Ya Allah, even if you don't give it to me right now, I still trust you, I still love you, and I still know you choose what is best. That kind of trust cannot be built in moments of ease. It grows in silence, in patience, in long nights of dua, and in the stillness of your heart, learning to lean on Allah alone. And here is the beautiful part. Once your heart becomes attached to Allah more than it is attached to the outcome, the blessing arrives gently, without stress, without fear, and without breaking your peace. When your heart is ready, Allah opens the door you thought would never open. When your relationship with Him is firm, He gives you what would have overwhelmed you before. When you finally learn to rely on Him fully, He places in your hands what you were once afraid you'd never receive. Allah does not delay to punish you. He delays to protect you, to grow you, and to prepare you for a blessing that will not distract you from Him, but will bring you even closer. Allah creates endings that make you grateful for the pain that built you. There will be a moment in your life when you look back at everything you cried for, worried about, begged Allah to fix, and you will suddenly understand why things had to happen the way they did. Right now, the pain feels heavy. Right now, the ending feels unfair. Right now, the closed door feels like a punishment. But Allah does not end anything to hurt you. He ends things to protect you, to redirect you, and to guide you towards something your heart could not see at that time. There are people you wanted to keep, but Allah knew their presence would drain your future. There were relationships you wanted to save, but Allah knew they would break you in ways you could not heal from. There were jobs, plans, dreams, and paths you thought were perfect for you, but Allah saw the harm that your eyes could not see. He saw the intentions you didn't know. He saw the future you couldn't imagine. He saw the emotional cost you would have paid if He allowed you to continue. Every ending that broke your heart actually saved your soul from something heavier. Every disappointment that made you cry was a wall Allah put in front of a path that was never meant for your growth. Every goodbye you didn't want was the start of a chapter designed with more peace, more clarity, and more healing than the one you were trying to hold on to. Sometimes Allah closes a chapter when you are still attached, and because of that attachment, it hurts deeply. But later, when your heart grows and your mind expands, you realize that Allah removed you from a place your soul was not safe in. You realize that the thing you wanted so badly was too small for the person you were becoming. You realize that if Allah had allowed everything you prayed for, you would have settled for a life far below the one He planned. You are not meant to stay in every chapter. You are not meant to hold every hand. You are not meant to continue every journey with the same people. Allah brings certain souls into your life to teach you, shape you, soften you, or awaken you. And then when the lesson is complete, He closes that door so you can move toward the next version of yourself. And here is the beautiful truth. The pain that felt like it was destroying you was actually building you. The tears that felt endless were washing your heart clean. The heartbreak that felt like the end was actually the beginning of your real destiny. One day, you will look at the story Allah wrote for you, and you will feel grateful for the endings that once terrified you. You will say, Alhamdulillah, that chapter closed, because what came after was exactly what my soul needed. Allah does not write endings to punish you. He writes endings to prepare you for the home, the peace, the partner, the purpose, and the future that is waiting for you. Your story is not ruined. It is being rewritten in a way that will one day make every tear make sense. One day, you will sit in a moment that Allah wrote for you long before you ever existed, and everything you are struggling with today will feel distant, light, and strangely meaningful. You will look around at the peace in your life, the calm in your heart, and the clarity in your mind, and you will realize that none of it would have been possible without the moments that once broke you. Every tear you cried softened you. Every delay transformed you. Every disappointment protected you. Every ending pushed you towards something better, something you could not have found on your own. You will remember nights when you couldn't sleep, days when your chest felt heavy, du'as you made with a shaking voice, and moments where you begged Allah to just give you one sign. And then you will look at where Allah brought you, and it will hit you so deeply that you will wonder why you ever doubted Him. You will feel a wave of gratitude for doors that closed, for people who left, for situations that collapsed, and for paths that were blocked, because you will see clearly that Allah was saving you, not hurting you. The pain that felt unbearable was quietly building your strength. The waiting that felt endless was shaping your patience. The loneliness that hurt your heart was making space for the right people and the right blessings. The confusion that overwhelmed you was pulling you away from what would have harmed your soul. Everything you went through was preparing you for the place you are destined to reach. Not one moment was wasted, not one tear went unnoticed, not one prayer went unheard. Allah was with you in your silence, in your fear, in your heartbreak, in your confusion, and in every step you took when you didn't understand where your life was going. He never stopped writing your story. He never abandoned you. He never forgot you. And the chapter He is preparing for your future is going to make your heart feel safe in a way you haven't felt in a long time. So breathe, let go of the fear, let go of the heavy thoughts. Trust the One who sees the entire timeline of your life when you can only see a small moment of it. The best days of your life are not behind you, they are ahead of you, moving toward you, written perfectly by the One who loves you more than you will ever understand. Very soon, you will smile without forcing it. You will feel peace without searching for it. And you will thank Allah for not giving you what you once cried for. Your story is not over. Your heart is still growing. And the most beautiful chapter Allah wrote for you has not even started yet.